Welcome to the second episode of Candid with Candy. My next guest needs no introduction in the world of graffiti. He's one of the best graffiti artists in India and has been featured in the news, including The Quint, The Guardian, and various blogs like The Little Black Book, So Delhi, etc. To top all of this talent, he's also an established entrepreneur and has two restaurants, one in Delhi and one in Aizawl, Mizoram, with plans of expanding further. But life wasn't always this rosy for David. Let's find out the circumstances that pushed this young man to bring out the best in him. And I am thrilled to have David be a part of Candid with Candy today. Let's give him a warm welcome. All the way from Aizawl, Mizoram, presenting David Lalramoya. Hi.
Yay.
So,
Mm,
David, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Let's
Yeah,
go. Let's do this.
yeah,
First of all, it's so nice to see you. And the last time I saw you, you were in Safdarjung in a completely
mm,
different place, and now you're back in Mizoram with your parents. So,
yeah.
quite a lot of change, I'm sure.
Um, I think the whole change came about, I think, sort of in a perfect time because I was already deciding to move back here. And then the pandemic happened. Even before the pandemic happened, I was like, hey man, I need to move back to Aizawl because I think I'm kind of done with Delhi now, and I still love Delhi. I think I'm a Delhi boy till today, because Delhi made me who I am, and but I was like, hey, like if I'm gonna grow older and think about family and every time I would come back here, I'm like, hey, there's a certain sense of peace that I feel every time I'm back here. So I decided, like, hey, that's one way or the other. Like, I have to decide when to move.
All right, we'll jump right in, and good that you moved back home.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, David, we'd like to know all about you today, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe start right from the beginning. Your early life,
Yeah,
and then we'll move
yeah.
into really interesting topics that I'm sure my viewers are really dying to know about. So let's
I hope
begin
so.
with that. I know so.
Yeah.
So your early life, right? Let's talk about little David.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Oh
curious
man.
because I'm also from, we were, I think, little together.
Yeah. 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 I mean, I think looking back, like the neighborhood that I was in, Happy Valley, wasn't so happy in a sense that I think the people were happy, but like the situation was not really happy. Because if you look back to 20 years ago, the financial situation, all right, we didn't really know because we were young. We were just happy with whatever that we got. But if I look at the whole locality as a whole now as an adult, I think I'm an adult now. um, I think it was a good move, but like I don't want to take anything away from the people who are still there because they're still living with what they can, and then they're still hustling every day also. But then I have friends out there who
Uh-huh.
are not alive today because of the life choices that they made. And till today, like I think about it, like if I didn't move out, I I might have been one of those dudes who's just like on the corner asking for money for your morning, a little bit of whiskey, and you don't even want to work, but like a bum. And I think I think about it, and then that also really gives me a push in life as well because the odds were against me also. And I'm not saying like, hey, I had a difficult childhood or whatever, but I had love around me, but like the neighborhood around was not really ideal, so to speak, to flourish as an individual. And yeah, I mean, thinking back, like everything was fun, and everything is fun in games at the end of the day when you're a kid. But like, when you look back, you don't really want to think about when you think about like life in general as well, you don't want to move ahead and just be like, hey, I mean, I could have done this, I could have done that, and just think about what you could have done. But like
You
you
know
move
what?
ahead and
Yeah.
yeah.
What? I'm sorry to interrupt you. I was watching this movie yesterday, and there's a very famous athlete. I don't recall his name right now. He said, "Pain is temporary, but your could haves and should haves is something that will haunt you for a very long time." So, and you
Yeah.
just made that point right now, and I
Mhm.
completely agree with you. Uh,
Mhm.
because I can empathize with you. I was
Mhm.
from the same neighborhood, and
Mhm.
the kind of life that you and I have today, sitting in front of
Yeah.
the camera talking about it, I don't think
Yeah.
we would have not even reached this point had we not left at a certain point in time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel you, and let me tell you that you made the right choice then.
Yeah, I mean, it was also a choice which I didn't really necessarily play a part in also, because
You were too little.
yeah, I mean, the
So when
difficult,
did you?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, where did you move from Happy Valley and when did you move? Can you just let us know that so that the audience gets a little
mhm.
better idea of what we're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of my background story is, my parents were divorced. I didn't know who my dad was really. I sort of have an idea, Then then my mom passed away when I was 9, and that really I was 9 or 10. I don't quite remember. 94. How old was I? Anyway, and then when I was like about 13 or 14, I moved to Delhi. Moved to Delhi with my sister's family, with my mom's sister's family, and they took me in. They gave me a new purpose. They gave me a new life, and looking back, I was a bit disappointed that I had to leave my friends back home, and like the childhood that I knew, and then Delhi was so strange to me, and everything was new, and I didn't know the depth of the importance of that decision that they made for me. But like looking back, like I don't know, I wouldn't have changed it any other way. I wouldn't have, even if I had the opportunity to do that. I don't think I would have really change anything out of it, because I'm here today because of that decision that they made for me, and then the love that they gave me, the new love that I felt from them was what I needed, that I didn't know, that I didn't have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And
So this is you made,
growing up,
yeah, the decision between your grandparents and your aunt then, right? Your aunt's family.
yeah, yeah, definitely. And so I mean, yeah, my grandma and my uncle and everyone, I mean, they're great, but like they had to do them too. So me moving to Delhi, I think that was a turning point in my life, and from then on I met the people I met, and became the person that I am today. Whoever that I am right now, you know what I mean.
Right, right. So you said you were 13, right? And that's the age of adolescence,
Mm-hmm.
when you're really shifting even in your mindset, right? So
Yeah.
I think that was the right time also, because as you were saying, while we sometimes feel that we have everything, we really don't know what we are missing
Mm-hmm.
until it's actually presented to us, right? um,
Yeah.
so great. And what did you study in school? Because the next question I'm going to be talking to you about is your love for graffiti as an art, and I know that it's
Mm-hmm.
not probably the most sought after in terms of the its creative space, and
Yeah.
you chose to do that, and you have so much passion for this art.
Yeah, man. I mean, as Ice Cube said it, gangster rap made me do it, but no. uh, yeah, man. I mean, it came from hip hop basically. My love for rap music and hip hop. Even when I was really young, I was listening to even when I was in Shillong, I was listening to Tupac, Dr. Dre, and all those guys from the West Coast mostly, also because I think they were more commercially famous. Thinking back, like I was like wondering why didn't I listen to
The East Coast.
the East Coast also, and then the Midwest, and then the Southern side, but why only the West Coast so much? Because they were more commercially, successful. But having said that, I mean, that is off topic in a way. But yeah, hip hop music, rap music is something that I always individually always gravitated towards, and even my friends back then, they were, heavy metal fans, but like I was still listening to to rap music. And so my love for graffiti, I mean, essentially came from hip hop, because graffiti is an element of hip hop, of rap, DJing, b-boying, graffiti, and knowledge, which we are imparting right now when we are playing, like practicing one of the elements of hip hop actually right now. In Delhi, my school was in Vasant Vihar, and Vasant Vihar had a lot of expat kids around the neighborhood, and it was one of the posh, you could say, neighborhoods of Delhi.
Correct.
And I would see tags. Tags are essentially signatures, in graffiti style, and I would see them, but I couldn't read them, but like I was like, man, that's beautiful, like the flow, the connection of letters, and I was like, hey, they did it with spray paint. How is it not dripping? And I was really mesmerized by the whole thing. And it was in one corner, and then you walk a little bit, and then it was in another corner. It was in Priya, it was in the C block and D block, and I was like, damn, this dude, like, or this group, I didn't even know what it was. So
Something
that
doing
really
something
sparked
around.
an interest. Yeah, that really sparked like an interest in me even more, and that was probably 2012. No, so sorry. 2003, 2002, and I was like, man, like, is it a stencil or is it freehand? That really caught my attention. Like,
And you
I
started
saw my
questioning. Yeah.
yeah. So I never know. I could never read it. Because like it's difficult to read a graffiti tag style if you are not, if you're not down with the
Pain.
culture, so to speak. Yeah.
Mhm.
Then
I still can't read what
then
you write.
yeah. Yeah, so I mean, and then my interest also, and I got more curious, and then I wanted to do it as well. I was like, hey, I think that is something that attracts me, and I was already writing my name all the time anyway, and on my notebook, like a
Mhm.
bored school kid. Then I bought a spray can, and I also did the same. Then I realized, like, hey, this is something else. This is something, because I don't know, and I didn't know anybody who was doing this also, by the way. And
That was my next question. Did you not have somebody who kind of, I understand that you got glimpses of
Mhm,
this, around the city,
mhm,
but
mhm.
who who was that person who kind of showed it to you, right? Was there somebody like that, like
um
somebody who introduced it to you personally?
uh, see, as I went with my graffiti career, so to speak, I did meet other, like, who I would call my mentor also. But like, introduction wise, I think it was more of my self interest and my own
You
self
learned
belief
it
that,
on your
hey,
own.
yeah, I did. I mean, YouTube
Wow.
taught me everything I knew in the beginning, because with graffiti,
Wow.
it's like the tool is so different and new. You have no idea, but like, thank God for YouTube. Like, I could understand the pressure of the can, the caps that you have, and
Seriously,
if
you did all this on your
I,
own? I didn't know this, Dave.
yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
man.
I mean, it went deep. I mean, why I was so interested also was because, I remember my elder brother, like he is a big hip hop fan too. Like, he was a DJ. He went for rap battles as well. He would tell me, when I was a kid, like, like, you should excel in one thing. Like, be it whatever the fuck, like, you should excel in one thing. You should be number one in one single thing, and you
Find
should try.
your niche, right?
Mm,
Mm.
yeah.
And he's
And
absolutely right.
yeah, and back then I was like, hey, okay, basketball, all right, I'm trying to be good at basketball, but like, I was average. Then when I found this graffiti thing, I I didn't know anybody who was doing it, and at the same time, it was like, hey, this is hip hop. And also, like, I could write my name on the street, and somebody's gonna see it, and somebody's gonna recognize and just be like, hey, who did that? The same way I saw, like, that red tag in Vasant Vihar, and somebody's gonna go like, oh, who did that? Oh, that's, oh, that's him. Oh, I see that there. I see that there. And that really sparked an interest even more for me. The whole, I don't know what you want to call that. The secrecy of it, or whatever. Like, I didn't really care for people to know who I actually was as well, like till today, in fact. So yeah, I mean, that's
And you
that's
still got
that's where
that
my
rush,
journey
right?
started.
Yeah.
Mm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I really didn't
Mm.
know about you, this being self-taught. So
Mhm.
that's incredible, man. I'm even more proud of you.
And I'm still learning, though. You know what I mean? It's like I'm still learning. Like
Never
in
ends,
the
right? I
yeah.
can see you learning behind on your room wall.
Yep. Yep. It's everywhere. It's a sickness, man.
You're sleeping and you're spraying
Yeah.
all over the place. Okay, so Dave, the last question on graffiti for you is any significant experience that you'd like to share with us?
I have quite a few because I've lived this life, so to speak, for as long as I can remember now, and it's part of my lifestyle now. It defines me, and I owe so much to graffiti also because it has given me the ability to open up a restaurant as well. But like something defining, I would say, is when yeah, I mean, was it Hindustan Times or Times of India? They came out with this article in 2012 when I was really active in the streets of Delhi. When I would go in the night, paint the flyover walls and Ames flyover, Don Lacroix flyover, Nelson Mandela Road. I would go in the night with my friend's bike with Tenzin. If you remember Tenzin,
Yeah,
we'd
yeah.
go on his bike. He would wait, and I would be like spraying, like taking my time, like 10 minutes to 15 minutes. So I was really active during that time, and nobody else was doing it. And that was also part of the rush as well, like, hey, nobody's doing it. I'm the only one. I'm the king of this jungle, so to speak. Ego. So yeah, and in Times of India or Hindustan Times, I can't still recall. They came up with this like news article writing on the wall, and they wrote something like, "Oh, because even then there was a German graffiti artist who we didn't get to speak about, but Bond, who also sort of became my mentor later, and right now he's like one of the superstars of graffiti in this world. If you Google him, you can. His artwork speaks for itself.
A world renowned graffiti artist is a friend of yours.
Yeah,
I just want
I'm
to
proud to
announce
say
that, Yeah,
that.
I just want
Yeah, yeah. The newspaper agency, they just wrote, this whole article without ever talking to me, and they gave the credit to Zine only about, oh, Bond. You see these Bond, Deezer, Zine, and other names. It's all done by one person, and he's like this foreigner guy. He comes in a scooty in the night, and so they gave me a lot of credit, but like, no, it was not me. It was, some of it was me, but like, they gave me a big shout out, so to speak. In these modern terms, they gave me a big shout out, and then for me, it was like such a big push because I was like, hey, I think I'm onto something here. Like, they don't know me, but like I know who I am. For
to.
me, that was a defining moment as well because it really changed the game for me because it gave me more push to be like, hey, I don't really need to talk to anybody, and I can just go and paint in the night whenever I want to.
You're
So
like
yeah.
ninja in the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do your thing and then you disappear. They're
Yeah.
like, who's this Zine? Yeah.
Yeah. Disappear in the smoke.
You just spoke about your restaurant,
Mhm.
being able to start a restaurant through
Mhm.
graffiti. So that is something I didn't know, right? And that's the other story that I'm interested in. As far as
Mhm.
I remember knowing you, I've known you to be the hip hop guy, the graffiti guy, but
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
restaurant business, nah,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So, how did that come about? And again, when you started
Mhm.
off, and we would come
Mhm.
to your Mizo diner and have fun. I was like, okay, this is going to happen for a couple of years, and that's about it.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
man, it's been a
Mhm.
decade or more, right?
Yeah, I mean it's been no, it's not I'm not a
Almost.
decade yet. Yeah, it's
Almost.
been a good 7 years, I would say. Yeah,
Bring it on. What is the story about?
it started with four friends, me and three other friends, and we decided to open this place. Then I sort of backed out with my other friend because okay, four-way partnership, man, I don't know, it might get difficult, and we have no idea about business. Forget about the food industry, forget about the service industry, in fact. And the two guys ran it for like 6 months, and after 6 months they decided, hey, we don't want to do it anymore. Do you want to take over? If you don't want to take over, we're just gonna give it up. And I was like, all right, cool, I'll take over. And since then I've been
At it.
on it since 2014. Yeah, 2014 of January 2014. That's when I took over, and then although the first 2 years were a lot of struggle, and again, graffiti, without graffiti, I don't think I would have been able to sustain the business because I paid a lot of my bills with the graffiti money that I got.
That
Commission work, I would paint at festivals and things like that, and so again, that's why I'm saying, like, for me, graffiti is actually life. Yeah,
you're
and Mizo
taking
Diners for life too.
great. With the pandemic that began, right? It has disrupted many of our lives,
Yeah,
mine. Uh,
yeah.
and of course, the one of the hardest hit are the local businesses, especially
Mhm,
restaurants like the
mhm.
ones that you own. So,
Yeah.
if you could just let us know a little bit about how did you manage, and also the restaurant in Delhi is still open and there's somebody else looking after it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have like a manager.
Right, right. So,
Yeah.
how did you manage both, Mizoram and
Mm.
Delhi?
I'd say God blessed me with good employees. So this, I would say, the my manager who's taking care of Delhi branch right now. I'm able to say Delhi branch also because of the people that's around me. And I've been lucky enough to, of course, I've had my fair share of like trouble with my employees and whatnot, but like the important core team members that I have with me um, have been really central to to the growth of the Mizo Diner family, so to speak. And baby, her name, baby, we call her baby. Her name is Baby. She's not my baby, but I think she's everyone's baby. All right. Yeah, I mean, without her, I don't think I would have been able to like move back here and also run Delhi branch as well. I've been blessed with a good manager, so to speak, and we're like a small, run small unit, small family.
Mhm. What I wanted to say was, I think
Mhm.
you do draw a lot of good people towards you, David, and I think it
Mhm.
also has to do with the kind of person that you are. You
Mhm.
really are very easy to talk to, and somebody who's really genuine. I think you're
Mhm.
damn straight when it comes
Mhm.
to when I see you do business as well, and the way you treat
Mhm.
your employees as well. I think the kind of freedom that you give them, which
Mhm.
brings me to my next question. I don't know who Baby will become eventually, but
Yeah.
your employee before her,
Mm.
Kapoli is her name, and
Yeah.
I know that she came from a very remote part of Mizoram with, I think, 10 to 12 siblings, and
Yep.
she started off in your restaurant. And I know because I was there, she didn't speak a word of English when I met her
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
And then, the way she kind of would learn from your customers, the way you kind of played the role of a mentor from the background, and
Mhm.
just, kind of encouraging her. And she's
Mhm.
become a great person today. So if you could just uh, shed some light on that story as well, because I'm so damn proud of you for that.
I mean, uh, yeah, thank you. And I think, blessings go back and forth, and I feel like I've been blessed with a second chance in life, so to speak, and I feel like I owe it to people around me if I can affect their lives in in whatever way that I can, and if I'm given an opportunity myself, like why can't I do the same for somebody who's gonna come next to me? And the whole thing with Kohli was like, I needed somebody. I needed somebody solid as well. I needed somebody who I can trust with money, first of all. Then, and she was solid from the get go, and she had that determination. So her current job is she works in the service department of the cruise liner.
So you say that she's now, with a cruise ship. How did that
Mhm.
journey begin for her, right? When did she
Yeah,
leave? And how did you let her go? It's very difficult to let go of really good employees, Dave.
yeah. I mean, in fact, she didn't want to get, she did. I mean, she wanted to do bigger things in life. She wanted to also move out of Delhi as well, and she wanted to have like move out from the whole small restaurant life as well, because her dreams were bigger. Her dreams were bigger from the get-go. And she would tell me like, oh, can I go now? And like, hey, there's this interview that's there, and I'll always be like, you can think about it in a couple of months, wait a bit, because I needed her, you know what I mean? She was always looking for something bigger, and she was meant for bigger things as well. And and eventually, yes, after like 2 years, she moved to Bombay and worked in one of the five-star hotels there. And she lived in a small PG, slept with they didn't even have like a separate room. So she's just, she's a hustler, man. I really respect her
Survivor,
also.
fighter, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Then
today, what is she doing
mhm.
today?
So now, after 2 years of working in the service industry, and she eventually got in, and then they're based in Boston now. And sometimes I would speak to her. I'm be like, "Hey, so where are you now?" "Oh, I'm in the Caribbean." And I'll be like, "Hey, I always wanted to go there," like what the hell? And the next thing you know, she's somewhere in like Europe, and I'm like, damn, man, you made it. I'm so proud of her. And she would always be like, hey, man, without you, I don't think this would have been possible. But like, hey, it could have been anybody, but like it's your determination and your hard work that got you there. And right now also she's back home and she's building a house, man. Like I haven't even done that. Like I'm still sitting in my
She beat you
mom's
to it, Dave.
house.
She beat you to it.
you know, she did me to it. I'm like, damn. When idols become rivals.
Oh, but I was so happy to hear about uh, her really making it big. And you played a very big role. I think the learning from this is when somebody has the determination and there's someone who's ready to help them out. So it's not
Mm,
necessarily financially all the time. I think
mm,
somebody who's there to just lift your spirit, right, is so
mm,
damn important for the youth,
mm.
because at the
Yeah,
end of the day, that's all we need, right? Some words
yeah,
of encouragement, somebody to
mm,
tell you, hey, don't stop there, just go on, right? I'm right there. If
yeah,
you need something, I'm
yeah,
around, right?
yeah,
That kind of moral support is so important. And you just proved that that's all we need. You didn't go
yeah.
around educating her and funding
Mm,
her and all of that, right?
mm, mm,
So good job on that, Dave. And
mm.
any message for my viewers before we sign out today?
I mean, believe in yourself, man. Believe in yourself. Don't listen to others. If like, listen to your gut feeling and just fucking do it. I think that's the most important thing in life, because even with my Mizo Diner Aizawl, everybody was like, "Hey, Mizo Diner in Aizawl." I don't know. Everybody said that. Every single person who I spoke to said that. And
You
look,
didn't speak to me about
it's
it.
so all I'm trying to say is, like, if you feel it, just do it, and hard work goes a long way. Like they say, you can't start a revolution from your bed. You got to get up and do it.
We hear you and we see you, actually, more than just
Mm-hmm.
hearing, right? You are an example right here of believing in oneself and just not letting the noise affect
Mm-hmm.
you. The other day I was telling you, right? Don't let others'
Mm-hmm.
opinions become your reality. I think that
Yeah.
is something that I truly believe
Mm.
in as well. And
Yeah,
I'm
I believe
so
it too.
proud of you.
Yeah.
I've
I'm
said
proud of
this
you
word.
too, man. Look at you. You're talking to me from America. America.
Yeah. That's because we
Yeah.
have this mutual admiration thing for one another.
Yeah.
but it's of a very healthy kind. And I
Hmm.
thank you so much. I had to chase you down for this interview, but
I
thankfully,
know, man.
Mizo
Yeah, we
Dada,
did it. We finally did
free,
it.
free food for 3 months when I'm in Aizawl.
Uh-huh, definitely. All day.
Okay, bye. I'm
Bye.
waiting for the pork ribs. Mang
Yeah,
Kalome.
definitely. Yeah.
Mwah. Thank you so
Bye.
much. Thank you everyone for watching this very special episode with David. I hope you learned a thing or two from his powerful story. If this is something that you dig, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you very much, and I hope you had a Merry Christmas. And here's wishing all of you a Happy New Year from our family to yours. Thank you. Bye.